The movie starts with Velu, who is a state-level Kabaddi player, going on his morning jog. He runs into a gang of his rival team members who try to bully him first thing in the morning, just like what they do back in high school. What a bunch of kids. But little do they realize that Velu already has backup from his friends. So the rival gang gets humiliated, bullied, and is forced to leave instead. Unable to bear the embarrassment, they start a fight, which is interrupted by Velu's father, Subramanian, who is the Assistant Commissioner of Police. Velu flees the area and goes back to his house, where he enters through the rooftop and finds his sister Bhuwana, along with her friends, dancing like Beyonce but the Bollywood version. He pranks her by saying that there's an ad shoot with Sachin in the next street and makes her leave for his autograph. Subramanian returns home with rage and asks his wife where Velu is, just to find out Velu pretending to study for his exams. But to Velu's surprise, he was wearing his mother's skirt in a state of panic when he heard his father return, making him get caught in the act. To make matters worse, Bhuwana returns and snitches on Velu. If you think this is bad luck, Velu's friend Oteri Nari calls him, but Velu's father is the one who answers the phone. Oteri Nari spills the beans that there is a Kabaddi match tomorrow and Velu is requested to participate in the match. Subramanian dislikes his son's involvement in Kabaddi and scolds him for his lack of interest in academics. Furthermore, he is warned not to go to the match the next day. The match day arrives and Velu is still stuck at home of his father's order. His teammates are in a state of panic as Velu is the star player of the team. But somehow, Velu finds a way to escape his house and join his team, which has lost the lead. No fear, cause Velu is here, as he turns the tide of the match by taking the lead and winning his team the trophy. Velu returns home and gets the news from Oteri Nari that they are selected for a match in Madurai on the 18th. Now, Velu schemes an idea to lie to his parents that he's going to a family wedding on that date and gets permission to go to Madurai. The scene shifts to Madurai where Velu arrives, and this is where we see Muthupandi, a notorious gangster who kills a man in cold blood. We then get to know the man that was killed is the main female lead Dhanalakshmi's brother. Fueled by anger, Dhanalakshmi's second brother goes to confront Muthupandi for killing the elder brother and plans to kill him. Muthupandi is in love with Dhanalakshmi and wants to marry her, but the elder brother refused and that's why he was killed. Now, the second brother, Mr. Hero of Justice wannabe, tries to stab Muthupandi so he can save his sister. Instead, he gets cut in the neck by Muthupandi, who seems to be a master of butchery. Muthupandi visits Dhanalakshmi's house to give his condolences. Not only did he kill her brothers, but also flirts with her and confesses his love to her. This man Muthupandi is a top G. Unable to see his daughter suffer, Dhanalakshmi's father arranges money and her travel documents to send her to the USA. Dhanalakshmi tries to escape by getting into the back of a lorry. But, to her bad luck, she doesn't know that the lorry is owned by Muthupandi and is headed towards his warehouse. Dhanalakshmi tries to flee the warehouse but was caught in the act by Muthupandi. He chases her down and catches her, then tries to drag her back to his place. We then see Velu going on his routine jog and witness Muthupandi harassing Dhanalakshmi. He punches our top G Muthupandi onto a high voltage transformer and takes Dhanalakshmi with him in an SUV. The duo is chased by Muthupandi's goons, who drive faster than Max Verstappen and Hamilton through twists and turns. They should have probably joined Formula 1 than work under Muthupandi. Unable to keep up with the Formula 1 prodigies, Velu crashes the vehicle and falls into the river. But miraculously, the duo survives the crash, where Velu saves Dhanalakshmi from drowning and fights his way by beating up the ghouls. They then head towards the main highway in hopes of getting a lift to go back to Chennai. But, tada! Muthupandi arrives in style with hundreds of his goons in lorries with swords and knives. He confesses his love to Dhanalakshmi again and warns Velu that he's going to chop him to pieces like beefsteak for punching him and trying to steal his lover. What an alpha this guy is. Even Andrew Tate will be proud. Velu, now knowing that Muthupandi loves Dhanalakshmi, tries to take advantage of the situation by blackmailing Muthupandi with a knife in Dhanalakshmi's neck. The emotionally fooled Muthupandi falls for Velu's trap and flees with Dhanalakshmi in a vehicle. Velu runs into a checkpoint and is stopped by the police who are in Muthupandi's pocket. But he outsmarts them by saying he is Muthupandi's goon who is searching for Velu and escapes successfully. Velu takes Dhanalakshmi to the roof of his house and tells her to clean up and treat her wounds. He seems like he prefers the top entrance more than the front. Surely he is a man of culture. He goes through the main door of his house and confronts his family on why he didn't go to the family wedding by making up a story that he was drugged by a stranger on the train through biscuits. The family then has dinner where Velu hoards food to feed Dhanalakshmi. Later that night, Velu explains the situation to his friends and they decided to support him. These are the friends to whom the quote, "A friend in need is a friend indeed" applies. The next morning, Velu wakes up on the rooftop and tries to enter his room, where he sees his mother, thinks that Velu is the one sleeping in the bed and places a cup of coffee next to the bed. Dhanalakshmi also forgets that she's in Velu's house, drinks the coffee and realizes that she's not in her house and tries to hide from Velu's family. She somehow manages to hide between the teddy bears in the room and fool the openly blinded mother. Muthupandi arrives in Chennai and files a complaint to the police to find Velu. He abuses the policeman who let Velu pass the checkpoint with a thundering slap and orders to identify his face using prehistoric graphic designing software, but fails miserably. Since Velu's father is an assistant commissioner of police, they hand over the case to him to find Velu, and Muthupandi says he will provide the police with Dhanalakshmi's photo to identify the girl. Meanwhile, in the passport office, the officials say that Dhanalakshmi should be present to get her visa processed. Velu goes home to get Dhanalakshmi but is caught by Bhuvana. Bhuvana almost snitches again to her mother about this, but she leaves this matter pass and makes a deal with Velu to get some treats instead. On Velu's way to the visa office with Dhanalakshmi, our lover boy Muthupandi spots them and couldn't control his urge to take her back, so he breaks the windscreen of the vehicle and tries to catch the duo, but he fails. Dhanalakshmi gets her visa approved. We see Velu talking to his friends on the balcony. All of a sudden, he is surprised when Bhuvana introduces Dhanalakshmi to her friends. Seeing the siblings argue and play around, Dhanalakshmi gets emotional thinking about her brothers who were killed. Velu then consoles and requests her to wipe the tears and be happy since it's her birthday, and they end up celebrating the night. Sivasubramaniam finds the vehicle in which Velu and Dhanalakshmi travel to Chennai. A panicked Velu gets to the crime scene and is confronted by his father, stating that some jobless scoundrel had kidnapped a girl and hitched the vehicle there. Little does he know that the scoundrel is none other than his valiant son. The police use well-trained dogs to grab the scent of the duo who operated the vehicle. Velu realizes if the dog goes to his house, he will be in big trouble. So he starts to run towards his house and intercepts the dogs along with the cops and spills chili powder over them so that the dogs lose the scent. What a high IQ move. Back in the office, Muthupandi hands over Dhanalakshmi's photo to Velu's father in hopes to find the girl. Dhanalakshmi has a nightmare and remembers her parents. She heads over outside to make a phone call to her parents. Velu's father, who was on the way to his house, spots Dhanalakshmi alone and insists on dropping her home. When she arrives in front of the house and points it to Sivasubramaniam, he gets surprised because it's his house. He says he will talk to her elders about not letting her go out in the night, and they proceed to ring the doorbell, which is answered by a shocked Velu. Velu is overwhelmed with fear and confusion, thinking about how he can escape this complicated situation. Sivasubramanian opens the file and realizes that Dhanalakshmi is the kidnapped girl and decided to apprehend both of them. But Velu, using his acrobatic skills, runs away and escapes his father along with Dhanalakshmi. They go to the lighthouse to take shelter and stay undercover till the heat goes down. A furious Muthupandi, who came to know of the truth that Velu is the son of Sivasubramanian, barges into their house and threatens Velu's mother that she will never see her son alive again. Sivasubramanian confronts Muthupandi and apologizes. Furthermore, he assures that even though Velu is his son, he will be arrested and Dhanalakshmi will be handed over to him, thus proving that he is a man of duty, responsibility and sheer will. Back in the lighthouse, Dhanalakshmi feels sad that she doesn't want to leave Velu and his family, but Velu compels her that it's not safe and she has to leave. Muthupandi has kidnapped Oteri Nari and is trying to find where Velu is, but he's a true friend and doesn't snitch on him. Unfortunately, Velu calls him at that moment and spills the beans on his whereabouts. Velu, now trying to escape the lighthouse before Muthupandi arrives, is faced with a locked gate but somehow breaks the lock. Just in time, Muthupandi arrives, so Velu locks the gate again and tries to flee the lighthouse from the top. They jump from the window and get a soft landing on a massive umbrella. As they try to escape, they are faced with some trouble from the goons, but Velu fights them off successfully. On the way to the airport, Dhanalakshmi gets hungry, so they stop by to grab a bite. As Velu receives a call, he loses Dhanalakshmi from his sight and panics. A few moments later, she comes to him and says she went shopping for goods. A furious Velu slaps and scolds her, but she gives him with a knee pad, wishing him for his Kabaddi match that he will be participating in that night. They head to the airport and Velu surprises her with her parents. Velu drops her off and leaves the airport half-heartedly. We can see he is starting to miss her. Velu gets ready for the final match of the tournament and Dhanalakshmi is boarding the flight. Meanwhile, Velu's father gets information that Velu is in the Kabaddi ground and sets his way to arrest him. He is stopped by Bhuvana, who explains how talented Velu is in Kabaddi and begs him to allow Velu to play in the finals so that Velu can achieve his lifelong dream. Velu is not in the right state of mind. He can't stop thinking of Dhanalakshmi and loses focus on the match. Things are looking bad for Velu's team as they keep losing points. Velu confronts his friend that he misses Dhanalakshmi and he might be in love with her and wants to see her. Like destiny written in the stars, she arrives on the ground after ditching her flight. Velu's mood brightens up and he enters the ground again with determination and confidence to win the match. After a thrilling scene of struggle and show of strength, Velu outpowers the opposite team and scores the winning points to win the match as the crowd erupts in joy. Velu goes to meet Dhanalakshmi, but our top G Muthupandi arrives and interferes with this duo's reunion. Velu's father takes Velu under his custody and releases the girl to Muthupandi. The only weakness our top G Muthupandi has is emotional manipulation, and Dhanalakshmi does exactly that and makes him fight Velu to win her over. Muthupandi confronts Velu's father and orders to release him so they can fight to the death. After a big showdown between the two, Velu comes up victorious and takes Dhanalakshmi to his side. A furious Muthupandi jumps at the duo with a sword but gets electrocuted by a loose wire and falls dead on the ground. And the duo hug each other. That sums up the movie Ghilli. Subscribe for more videos like this. If you like the video, drop a thumbs up. It would help the channel a lot. Thank you for watching. Take care.